Here it is. This is the game for the A's and the Orioles. Bunbury steps in and the pitch is a ball one high and outside, and here we go. Bunbury came to the plate 3 times without a base hit against the Catfish Hunter in the second game, and on the series, Bunbury has been to the plate 4 times and is still looking for a base hit. And now a ball 2 is low from the Oakland right-hander, Catfish Hunter. 2-0 to the exciting, sometimes dazzling Oriole rookie, Al Bunbury, a left-handed batter, chokes up on the bat. Hunter throws. He's high, ball 3. Around that Oakland infield, Sal Bando, the third baseman, is not 1, maybe 2, even 3 steps up on the infield grass. The rest of the infield is up at least a couple of steps, and Hunter has walked Bunbury. On 4 pitches, Bunbury is on with a base on ball. Bunbury, a man who just does not hit what you can call a routine ground ball with that blazing speed down the line. The infield has a tendency every now and then to press a little bit. You can't take your time fielding and throwing, or Bunbury can beat the routine ground ball. On the base pass, he has great speed. He perhaps does not know the pitchers as well as he would like to, does not always get the best of jumps, but yet has stolen 23 bases this season. And now here's the other half of the sometimes dynamic duo of Bunbury and Coggins, Rich Coggins. And Bunbury attracts a throw to first base. Hunter just lobbed it over that way. Tennis made no tag effort. Now Coggins is hitting .400 in the playoff series with 2 hits and 5 trips. The pitch is a foul ball that will make the seats and be out of play. Strike 1 to Rich Coggins. Coggins, who has been to the plate 5 times with 2 base hits against Catfish Hunter Sunday afternoon in Baltimore, had 2 hits in 5 trips. And defensively, the Oakland infield plays Coggins just about the way they played Bunbury a moment ago. The right-hander, Catfish Hunter, ready, he deals, and Coggins bunts, pops it up foul behind the plate, chasing back the catcher. He can't get to it. It drops for a foul ball, strike 2. Fosse broke back, but the ball was not in high enough in the air to give him a chance to run under it. Just a glorious day in Oakland for this final playoff game, and you just better believe that there are butterflies as big as eagles in the stomachs of quite a few people in this ballpark today. Yes, sir, and you can include this reporter. 2 strikes to count to Rich Coggins. Bunbury leading first. Nobody out. We just started. Hunter is ready, and the pitch to Coggins is a breaking pitch outside, and the count is 1-2. Coggins does crowd the plate for a small man, and he hits from the middle to the front of the box, and also, like his teammate Bunbury, he chokes up on the bat just a little bit. And for such a small fella, he hits with good power. Ball 2 is way outside, 2-2. The Catfish, who has just been a magnificent hurler down through the years with the Oakland A's, now is going to get a visitation from his pitching coach, Wes Stock. So Stock goes to the mound. Time is called. The catcher, Fosse, goes out, and Sal Bando, the Oakland A's third baseman, is ambling in. Seldom does a reporter have the opportunity that we have here in Oakland this afternoon to sit in on a game that is, just means everything to both teams. And this kind of an opportunity is the kind of an opportunity that you can really, really enjoy. As managers, Dick Williams and Earl Weaver will be just vibrating all afternoon, and it's the kind of a game that anybody would just love to have the chance to see. Now the 2-2 pitch coming to Coggins. Here's a fly ball to center field. Coming up on the ball is Davalillo, and the center fielder is there to make the grab. And we have the first out of the game. Coggins flies to center fielder, Dick Davalillo. 1 down now, and the batter is going to be the designated hitter, Tommy Davis. Tommy has had, as you would expect, I think if you were an Oriole fan and have followed his fortunes throughout the season, he is again having an outstanding series, particularly against his former teammates, the Oakland A's. In the playoff series and the first 4 games, Tommy Davis is hitting .353 against Catfish Hunter Sunday afternoon in Baltimore. Davis had 2 hits in 4 trips. 1 out, Bunbury at first. Catfish is ready to go. He deals. Fast and low on the ball 1. Bill Haller is the plate umpire, with Nestor Shylock at first, George Maloney at second, and Jim Oldham at third. And on the foul lines, Merrill Anthony on the left field side and Larry McCoy on the right field side. 1 out of the inning. Bunbury opened the ball game with a base on balls. He's at first base. And the pitch, there goes Bunbury, taken for a strike. Throw to second base. Bunbury is safe. Bunbury is in with a stolen base, and that will be for Al his first steal of the series, his 24th of the year. That's their first stolen base in this championship series. Bunbury with that great speed. Fosse's throw was quick. It was also accurate. But with the speed of Bunbury, it was also late. So with a count of ball and a strike to Tommy Davis, Bunbury is at second base. And the catfish is ready to go once more. The 1-1 offering to Tommy Davis. Fly ball center field. Davalillo is waiting for it. Coming up a little bit. Davalillo's got it. And that's the second out of the inning. 2 down. Tommy Davis flies to the center field of Davalillo. And now here is one of the more surprising Orioles in this championship series. From a man like Earl Williams, who is approaching the plate, you expect power and runs batted in. However, I don't think that you quite honestly feel that he would hit for any great average, even in a short playoff series. But Williams has fooled a few people. He is hitting .333. And yes, he has a home run. And he also has knocked in 4 runs. He also has a pair of doubles. 5 hits and 15 at-bats. And against the man he looks at right now, he went 2 for 4 on Sunday afternoon. The infield cuts around to the third base side. The outfield around toward left and very deep. The pitch to Williams, breaking ball low and outside, and a ball 1. Beautiful afternoon in Oakland, and the slight breeze that is present at the ballpark is just kind of drifting out toward the center field and every now and then a little bit toward left field. Bunbury, the runner at second base, a walk and a steal at second. 2 out on the inning and fly balls to the center fielder. And now the 1-0 pitch to Earl Williams. Hunter steps and fires a swing and a ground ball foul outside of third, and so the count will be a ball and a strike. Paul Blair kind of put things in its proper perspective as we look down. He's in the on-deck circle last night when he said, well, yesterday we played for $19. Today we're playing for $20,000. Now the 1-1 offering. Hunter throws. High pop-up. It's up the first base side. First baseman coming down the line, waiting for it. Tennis is there. He's got it. The final out of the inning. Williams gone on a fair ball pop-up to the first baseman. Tennis. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of a half inning of play, the score. Baltimore nothing and Oakland coming to bat. On the mound goes Doyle Alexander in this all-important Game 5 of the American League Championship Series. Doyle in his second year as an Oriole, his first in the club's regular starting rotation. 23-year-old Alexander had a strong start and a memorable finish this season. It was Alexander who pitched and won the division clincher September the 22nd at Milwaukee. Back in mid-August, Alexander had a .500 record of 6 wins and 6 defeats before running off consecutive wins over Minnesota, Kansas City, Texas, and Boston, and 3 of those nods were complete game efforts. Alexander opened the year with 4 consecutive victories, 2 over Milwaukee, and 1 each over Oakland and Boston. His first defeat came in late May in Minnesota. Before going on the disabled list in early July with tendonitis in his right elbow, Alexander was 6-4. His first outing after the injury was against Boston August the 6th, and he did not get by the first inning, and it was a 5-3 loser. Doyle had a complete game victory over Oakland May the 7th in Baltimore, defeating Raleigh Fingers, enjoying a 2-hit shutout until Darren Johnson's homer in the 6th inning. Thereafter, the A's did not have a serious threat. In probably his top effort of the year, Alexander was a no-decision pitcher. May the 14th in Boston, Alexander pitched 10 shutout innings and a 4-hitter at the Red Sox. And the Red Sox won it in the 11th inning, 1-0 over Bob Reynolds. Well, here now is Bert Campaneris. Campaneris instrumental in everything that Oakland does, having a fine championship series with a .353 batting average, and Alexander's first pitch of a strike over the inside corner of the letters, and we're underway. Campy has been to the dish 17 times, and he has 6 base hits. Has knocked in 3 runs, and has, surprisingly enough, hit 2 home runs. Alexander throws, swing and a foul, over the screen and out of play, 2 strikes. It will be Bert Campaneris, Joe Rudy, Sal Bando in that order against Doyle Alexander in the bottom of the first inning. The Oriole infield is up a couple of steps against the great speed of Campaneris. Pitch. He struck him out. Alexander throws 3 times, and Campaneris goes down swinging. So we have one gone, and the batter now will be Joe Rudy. One time in relief this year, Alexander went 4 1/3 innings and retired 13 Oakland A's in a row. Rudy is hitting .214, and his extra base hit was a home run. He has knocked in 2, and it's been to the dish officially 14 times with 3 base hits. Right-hand swinging Joe Rudy. Alexander's rocking motion on the first pitch to Rudy is fast and low on a ball 1. For those of you who have not seen Doyle Alexander, he would be slightly reminiscent of another former American League right-hander by the name of Dean Chance. He kind of corkscrews around a little bit, throws right out of the shoulder, 3/4 side armor with a darn good fastball, which is a natural sinker. He's low with this one, and it's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. He also throws the slider, and he has a curveball. Now, the American League Championship will be decided this afternoon here in Oakland, and they couldn't have a finer day for it. As we look around, that crowd's getting a little bit better. The 2-0 to Rudy, a high fly ball, well hit. Deep in left center field, Blair and Bumbry are converging, and it's going to be Bumbry, the left fielder, making the grab in deep left center field for the second out of the inning. Bumbry lost the hat scrambling over into the alley in left center field, and that gave him just a split-second trouble because he was minus the cap visor even with the sunglasses down, and he kind of did stagger just a second or two before settling under the fly ball for the second out of the inning. And now here comes Sal Bando. Bando, 2 hits and 14 trips. They have both been home runs, hitting 143 and 3 runs batted in, and a strike hits the outside corner of the letters to Bando. No score. The A's are batting at the bottom of the first inning. 2 out and nobody on, and this is the game for the American League. The 1-strike pitch is outside again for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 offering. And the pitch. Breaking ball, perfectly thrown, a strike call to Bando. That looks like the slider from Doyle Alexander. Doyle wears the number that a lot of professional athletes frown on. He wears number 13. A ball and 2 strikes. 2 out and nobody on. The Alexander pitch. A line drive base hit into right field. Bando singles to right. That's the first base hit of the ball game. And that will bring in the left-hand batting Reggie Jackson. Now, Jackson is not having a good series. 2 for 17, 118 batting average. Reggie Jackson steps in. Earl Williams, the Oriole first baseman, moves in to take the bag with the runner Bando at first. The infield cuts to the first base side of deep, and Alexander's pitch. Check of a swing, and the ball is low and inside. Reggie Jackson striding, did not move the bat. Paul Blair is very deep in center field and not too far toward the alley. He's a little bit toward right center, but not a whole lot. And the 1-0 pitch to Reggie, a ground ball hit toward the shortstop Belanger. He's got up a short throw to the second baseman, and they force Bando at second base for the final out of the inning. Jackson gone on the tapper to the shortstop Belanger for the force of Bando at the end of 1 inning of play. The score is Baltimore 0 and Oakland 0. Well, the first inning has been completed in Oakland without a score, and now to the top of the second inning, and the Baltimore center fielder Paul Blair, who against the Catfish Sunday afternoon came to the plate 3 times without a base hit. In the series, he is 3 for 15 and a 200 hitter. Right-handed batsman hits out of a closed stance, fairly deep in the box, and Blair does like to kind of stand in on the plate. And here is the Catfish's first offering to Blair, a hard breaking pitch, low and outside, ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch to the waiting Blair, a swing and a foul off the screen behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, before the American League Championship Series started, most of the baseball experts around the country said these two teams, believe me, are evenly matched. And how right they were as they are now battling in game number 5. The 1-1 offering to Blair. Got the strike call, a good breaking ball. 1-2 now to Paul Blair. Blair, Brooks Robinson, Bob Gritch are the two batters in the top of the second to Jim Hunter. And the right-hander's pitch, low and away, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Hunter brings the arm down. It's cut on and fouled back to the screen. Blair with the kind of a swing that he started to work on in spring training. And Blair, for the most part, was a fellow who was kind of a dead pull hitter. And as a matter of fact, defensively, the Oakland A's play him that way. But he decided that this year he would make a very pronounced effort to do something about his swing when the count got to 2 strikes, shorten up on it, and just kind of flick the bat of the ball in an effort to make contact. As a result, he had quite a few base hits to the opposite field. The pitch is inside and almost hit Blair. It did nick him. He is nicked by the pitch, and Blair goes to first base, and the Oakland A's are beefing about it. Fosse and Hunter are complaining. Here comes manager Dick Williams out to complain. But Bill Haller, the umpire, right on the spot, apparently is satisfied, both Fosse and Hunter, that it was a ball that glanced off and hit Paul Blair. No harm done. He's at first base, and we'll pause for station identification. This is the ball. Well, Paul Blair hit a glancing blow by Catfish Hunter, is at first base. Tennis moves in to take the bag, and here is Brooks Robinson, a 188 hitter in the playoffs to date. He gets a curve over the outside corner, and a strike is called to Brooks. Against Catfish Sunday afternoon, Brooks Robinson came to the plate twice without a base hit. 3 for 16 in the series. 1 of the 3 a double. He has knocked in 2 runs. The 1-strike pitch. There goes Blair. The pitch is swung out on a ground ball, foul down the third base side. Well, the third base umpire, Jim Odom, had a little bit of a problem. Number 1, he had to make a decision, fair or foul. And number 2, he had to keep from being hit. And it took him just maybe a second or 2 longer to make the call than it might normally. The ball was very close to hitting him, and he gave us the good, clear, concise call, foul ball, and the count of strike 2, and Blair was running on the pitch. So the count now is 2 strikes. Blair running on the 1-strike pitch to Brooks. And this is probably the way you'll find both Dick Williams and Earl Weaver playing it this afternoon. Close to the vest, went down the drain. This is for everything. And they will do everything humanly possible. They're both very aggressive managers. The 2-strike pitch to Brooks Robinson. Hunter throws. Here's a high foul that will find the seats on the first base side, and the count continues 2 strikes. We have heard a rumor, as yet unconfirmed, that the Detroit Tigers have hired Ralph Houk as manager, and now it has been confirmed. Yes, the new manager of the Detroit Tigers, the former Yankee manager, Ralph Houk. The 2-strike pitch to Brooks. Fly ball right field, pretty well hit. Back and waiting is Reggie Jackson. Jackson makes the catch for the first out of the inning, and Blair returns to first base. The batter now will be Bob Gritch. Bob, who hit the home run yesterday that allowed the Orioles to force the championship series into this winner-take-all game. Against Catfish Hunter, in 2 plate appearances, Bob did not have a base hit in Baltimore. He is hitting 125, 2 hits and 16 trips, and his only extra base hit was that dandy insofar as Baltimore is concerned, the home run that won it yesterday, 5-4. The pitch, fast and low, and a ball 1. Another great afternoon weather-wise, and now as I look around, this crowd is getting a whole lot bigger, so we're going to have a pretty fair turnout. Catfish Hunter has the sign, and now he goes to first base. Blair is on the bag when the throw got there. Well, the Orioles have had a man on each inning. Bumbry was aboard with a walk in the first inning, stole second base, but was stranded out there. Now the 1-0 pitch to the waiting Bob Gritch. Strike is called, the ball and a strike. The 1-1 offering to the waiting second baseman, Bob Gritch. Hunter throws a pop-up. It's down the first base side in foul ground. Waiting is Tennis. And he's got it for the second out of the inning. Hunter did a great job. Fisted Partridge, had it right in on his hand, and he got a little bit of it and fouled to the first baseman Tennis for the second half. We have 2 down now, and the batter will be Andy Etchebarren, a surprising hero. Shuttled to the background throughout the greater part of the Orioles season. What were the Orioles' trade of Dave Johnson and a few others to the Atlanta Braves for Earl Williams? Well, Etchebarren has certainly made his presence felt down through the last couple of weeks of the year. And didn't he do exactly that yesterday afternoon with a 3-run home run to tie the ball game? Hit it off Blue Moon Odom. So Andy is having a very good series, hitting .364, 4 hits in 11 trips, and 4 runs batted in. The pitch, swing, and he didn't get it. Strike 1. 1 strike to Etchebarren. Andy, a Californian, and it was quite some time ago, earlier this year in the baseball season, that Andy Etchebarren, realizing he was not going to catch, not going to play very much with Williams around, flatly stated that he wanted to be traded, and if possible, trade me to the California Angels. Now the 1-strike pitch to the waiting Etchebarren. Blair at first with 2 outs. The pitch, there goes Blair. It's taken outside for ball. Throw to second base. He is out at second base. The throw, Fosse to Green, and Blair is cut down trying to steal. Caught stealing, Fosse to the second baseman for the Orioles in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors for Oakland, and nobody left on. At the end of an inning and a half, Baltimore nothing and Oakland nothing. In the last half of the second inning, the Oriole right-hander Doyle Alexander will face Gene Tennis, Vic Davalillo, and Jesus Alou in that order. No score in Oakland. The game, number 5. And with the win today, the opportunity to play the New York Mets in the 1973 World Series. That's worth a great big bundle of dough. $20,000 and more to the winner, perhaps. The pitch to Tennis. It's inside on a ball 1. Tennis has been to the plate 14 times with 3 base hits. And one of the 3 was an extra base hit, a double. Doyle Alexander ready to go once more. The Baltimore right-hander throws a swing and a miss at that sinking fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Alexander, key part in the Frank Robinson swap to the Dodgers in December of 1971. In fact, he pitched for the Robinson-managed Santurce Club in the Puerto Rican Winter League last winter. Pitch. Foul ball over the screen, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. And Doyle fought the battle and won the battle with tendinitis this year during the campaign for Baltimore. And the 1-2 pitch coming down to Tennis. Doyle throws, look out, it is inside, and it hits Tennis on the top of the bag. And he is hit by the pitch and reaches first base. So the Oakland A's start the second inning just the way the Orioles started the second inning. Like Lansing ball that hit Tennis. Jerry Adair, his first base coach, indicates that Tennis is perfectly all right. And the umpire, Shylock, signs into the Oakland dugout. Take it easy, everything's fine. The trainer doesn't have to make the trip. Now, here is a little package that the Orioles have had some difficulty figuring out. This is Vic Davalillo, a left-handed batter who is hitting .667. And he has been just tough as all get-out for Baltimore pitching. Now, Earl Williams has moved in. He has the bag with a runner Tennis at first. And here's Alexander's pitch, a bunt effort, and he pulled the bat out of the way and got a strike call. Davalillo looked as though he were running up to bunt and pulled the bat out of the way, but the pitch was in the strike zone. So Vic is down 0-1 to Doyle Alexander. In truth, he might just have been getting a reading on the Alexander pitch because Davalillo, for the most part, is moving on the pitch all of the time. And now a pitch outside to Vic. 1 ball and 1 strike. This is the kind of a fellow, if you bring the ball in on him, he'll pull it. If you pitch, down and away, he loves to hit the ball the other way. And in truth, defensively, that's the way the Orioles are set up to play Davalillo. Outfield-wise, they play him to hit the ball to left field. And now the 1-1 pitch to Davalillo. Alex, there goes the runner. The pitch is swung on a ground ball, knocked down by the pitcher. Throw to second. It is in time. Back to first. Double play. Doyle Alexander grabbed the spiked ground ball and never hesitated. He had his mind made up the minute the ball hit the glove. Regardless of the outcome, he was going to second, and he did. And they got the force of second, and then the relay throw back to first base in time to double up Davalillo. If you're scoring, it's pitcher to the second baseman to the first baseman for the double play. Boy, I'll tell you, that was very close at second base, but When you've got so much at stake, the gamble of that sort is well worth taking, I'm sure. In this case, it certainly worked out very well for the Orioles, but it was a very close play at second. 2 down and nobody on, and here now is Jesus Alou. And a strike is called to the big Alou as he looks at the hard breaking ball. Jesus is hitting .333, 1 hit in 3 trips, and what a dandy it was. He golfed the Cuellar pitch into left field for a base hit to knock in the tying run. The pitch to Jesus inside, and he dropped the bat. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jesus, another one of those fellas that does a lot of wandering around in the box, like Davalillo, moving back and forth and walking up on the pitch. Doyle Alexander's 1-1 to Alou. Right down the pipe when the strike is called. That was such a good pitch. The plate umpire, Bill Haller, just stood up and admired it for a moment and said, yeah. He gave it the strike call. A ball and 2 strikes. 2 out and nobody on. No score. Last of the second inning in Oakland. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball right back toward Doyle Alexander, the pitcher. He's got up to throw to first, and that takes care of Oakland in the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left at the end of 2. Baltimore nothing, Oakland nothing. In the third inning, Andy Etchebarren will lead off, and for those of you who are thinking in terms of World Series tickets, if it should be Baltimore, the ticket office, the Oriole office, at the Hopkins Plaza in downtown Baltimore will be open tomorrow from 10 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. At Memorial Stadium right now, they are in business. The ticket window at W2, the west side, W2 at Memorial Stadium is open. Will be open until 11 o'clock tonight. It'll open at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning and stay open until 11 tomorrow night should the Orioles represent the American League in the World Series. Ticket availabilities, the $10 upper and lower reserves are available to you. The $6 outfield reserves are also available. You must buy them in strips of games 1 and 2 or 6 and 7 or all 4. Here's a ball 1 down low to Andy Etchebarren. I'll repeat that now. You cannot buy tickets for just like game 1 or game 2. You must buy for game 1 and 2 or games 6 and 7 or all 4. Now the 1-0 pitch to Etchebarren, a high pop. It's off the first base side in that great big foul area. Going over, waiting for it now is the first baseman Bennett, and he's got it. 1 gone in the top of the third inning, and the batter now is Mark Belanger. Mark is hitting .143. 2 for 14, and against his opponent this afternoon, Jim Hunter, he went 1 for 3 Sunday afternoon. Again, on the purchase of World Series tickets, cash, certified checks, or money orders, no personal checks can be accepted. And the ticket window at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore is open right now. Will be open until 11 tonight. Be open again tomorrow at 8 in the morning until 11 in the evening.
Hey, Peanut!
All ready to go. The pitch to Mark Belanger. A swing and a fly ball right field way. Reggie Jackson's perfectly positioned. He takes 2 steps up and makes the catch, and that will be out number 2. 2 down. Now the batter will be Al Bunbury. And Bunbury walked in the first inning and stole the Orioles' first base of the championship series. Bunbury on the year stole 23. Very shallow at third is Sal Bando. The pitch to Bunbury is high and tight, and the little fellow rocks out of the way. Ball 1. Now the 1-0 pitch to left-hand hitting Bunbury. 2 down and nobody on. We're in the top of the third. No score in Oakland in Game 5. Catfish Hunter throws. He's too low, and the count will be 2 balls with no strikes. In the first inning against Bunbury, Hunter carried the count to 3-0 before he lost him. Now the 2-0 pitch to Bunbury. Hunter throws. He's got a strike. Inside corner, knee high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, the New York Mets recuperating, fat and happy as well they should be on a magnificent job as winners of the National League pennant. The 2-1 offering. High fly ball, left field side. Rudy glances down, racing toward the foul line, coming up under it now. Rudy is there in fair ground to make the catch that retires Al Bunbury. 3 up and 3 down go the Orioles. At the end of 2 1/2 innings of play, it is Baltimore nothing and Oakland nothing. Well, the Oakland A's against Doyle Alexander will come on in the third inning with their catcher Ray Fosse, second baseman Dick Green, and the top of the batting order, Bert Campaneris. Now, Fosse in this series to date has 1 hit and 8 trips, but it was a dandy. It was a double to knock in a pair of runs. He is hitting .125. In the 4 games today, Fosse has knocked in 3 of Oakland's runs, all in the same game. Game number 3. All ready to go. The pitch coming down to Fosse. He started to go, held back in the swing, and Haller snaps the right arm, and the strike is called to Fosse. And the 1-strike offering coming. It's fast and low to make the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Through the first 2 1/3, it's Baltimore no runs, no hits, and Oakland no runs, 1 hit. Bando had a right field single in the first inning. The 1-1 offering. Ground ball sharply hit down third base way. Brooks Robinson tripped and fell down. Brooks Robinson trying to cross to his right, tripped and fell down. I don't know whether he stepped in a hole or tripped over his own foot, but he fell down and knocked the ball down, and the ruling will be an error to the third baseman, Brooks Robinson. Normally, it would have been a very routine sort of a chance for Brooks. But it was to his right side, and as he crossed over to his right, I'm not sure whether he stepped in a hole and tripped or whether he tripped over his own foot. But he did fall down, and Fosse reaches. And here now is Green. Alexander to the right-hand batting Green. He squares the bunt and takes the ball high and outside. Well, the moment the A's get a runner at first base, they have gone to the bunting game. They started that in the second inning. They started again here in the third inning. The A's have had a runner on in every inning this afternoon. The Orioles a runner on in the first inning and again in the second inning. Fosse, the runner at first base, the pitch to Green, squares bunt, and he did not took the pitch rather. He did not bunt. He just squared off and pulled the bat out of the way. And it'll be a ball 2. The pitch currently down low to Green, who now looks at third base coach Irv Norris. Green moved up on the ball, squared off, did everything but stab at the pitch. So now with a count 2 balls and no strikes, see if the A's still have the bunt in order. Fosse, the runner at first. Alexander sets. The bunt is on. He takes the strike. Again, Green squared, as if to bunt, and took the pitch, and the strike was called. 2 balls and 1 strike. See whether or not the A's still have the bunt in order here with a count of 2 balls, a strike to the right-hand batting Green. Alexander throws. Green squares, bunt first base side, charging with Williams' pickup, and the throw is back to first base on the sacrifice bunt. Down to second base goes Fosse as Green has advanced. Fosse on the good sacrifice bunt. First baseman Williams to the second baseman covering. 1 gone, and the A's have a runner in scoring position. And the batter will be Bert Campaneris, who struck out in the first inning. Alexander, who coming off the mound in an effort to get to that bunt seemed to lose his footing and fall down, has taken just a little time walking around up there on the mound to kind of settle down once again. Fosse, the runner at second base. Campaneris at the plate with 1 out. Alexander's first offering to Campaneris, a high pop-up. It's toward the second baseman, Gritch, on the skin of the infield. Gritch is there to make the grab, and that will be the second out of the inning. 2 down. Fosse holds second base. The batter will be Joe Rudy. Rudy, who flied to the left fielder in the first inning. I might add, Rudy, who flied to the left fielder and hit the ball very well. The ball was hit rather deep into left, not quite to the warning track toward the alley in left center. And the Orioles play Rudy around toward left field in the outfield, and the infield is just about straight up. Alexander's first offering to the right-hand swinging Rudy. Ground ball, base hit to left field. Humphrey is charging. Around third comes Fosse. The pickup. Throw to the plate is going to be cut off to second base. Out at second base. The run will score. Fosse scores the first run. Bumbry's throw hit the cutoff man, Brooks Robinson. And Brooks Robinson wheeled it to second base, and that cut down Rudy for the final out. So you credit Rudy with a single to left field, a run batted in, and he has cut down left fielder, third baseman, second baseman for the final out of the inning. Oakland picks up a run on a base hit, plus an Oriole error, and nobody left on at the end of 3 complete. It is Oakland 1, Baltimore nothing. Well, the Oakland A's have a 1-0 lead, and they get it with one of the good breaks in baseball. And now the Orioles have got to play catch-up baseball, and here is Coggins with a ball 1 down low. The run that scored was Ray Fosse, and he reached, hitting a routine ground ball to the right side of third baseman Brooks Robinson, who tripped over, I believe, his own foot and fell down in an effort to make the pickup. He never could do it. The error was charged, and that is the run that scored. And now Hunter throws a strike call to Rich Coggins right at the knees in the inside corner. The right-hander back with a 1-1, a ground ball over the pitcher's head to his right, the second baseman. He's got it, the throw on to first, and that's the first out of the inning. One gone as Coggins grounds out to the second baseman, Dick Green. And now here comes Tommy Davis, and the catfish gets that snapping breaking pitch over the outside corner at the knees. Strike 1 is called to Tommy. What a brilliant performer Catfish Hunter has been down through the years for this Oakland ball club. And what a competitor. The 1-strike pitch. Davis looks at it. It's low and outside of a count. It's even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Right now, the edge to the Oakland A's. They lead 1-0. Now the 1-1 pitch. Hunter rocks and throws. Davis swings and hits a high fly to right field, cutting over toward the foul line and crossing the foul line is right fielder Jackson. He's got it for the second out. A foul ball fielded by right fielder Reggie Jackson for the second out. 7 in a row now retired by Catfish Hunter, since he hit Blair and put him on in the second inning. The batter will be Earl Williams with 2 out and nobody on. Hunter's move, the right-hander's pitch to Williams. Low and away. Ball 1. A run on 2 hits for Oakland. No runs, no hits, and an error for the Orioles. This game now in the top of the 4th inning, and this is the game for the A's and the O's. The 1-0 pitch to Williams. Swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. This crowd, every time we look around, looks to be a little bit bigger and a whole lot better. So apparently we had another late arriving crowd here in the Bay Area. Now the 1-1 pitch coming to Earl Williams. Ground ball third base way. It'll be a foul ball as Dando gets to it behind the bag. 1-2, the count to the Oriole first baseman, Williams. The 1-2 pitch. Way outside. And the count now is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Catfish Hunter, if you haven't had the opportunity to see him, would remind some of you people who've watched baseball for quite a few years of a Robin Roberts. Now the 2-2 pitch. Hunter throws. Low for a ball. Hunter throws hard. Good breaking stuff. Good control, and the only time he seems to get in trouble is sometimes his control's just a little bit too good, I guess, and the result's the home run ball. And he threw 39 this year. Look out, a line foul down the third base side, and the ball girl down and fouled down. Made a reasonably good stab to knock it down. 3-2, the count to the batter, Earl Williams. A line drive drive took one hop, and I would have to think that young lady hopes that there'll never be another foul ball like that one in her area. It was kind of a hard chance to handle. 3-2, the count to Williams with 2 out and nobody on the top of the 4th. Time. Williams felt that Hunter made him wait. He wants to back out and make Hunter wait. 1-0 Oakland. Here in this top of the 4th inning. The catfish is ready. He deals. Low for ball 4. So Williams has walked, and that'll be the second walk given up by Jim Hunter. And the batter now will be Paul Blair. And before he steps in, we'll grab a station break. This is the Baltimore Oriole Baseball Network. He was hit a glancing blow by a Hunter pitch in the second inning. Tennis doesn't hold with Williams a runner at first in this 2-out situation. The pitch to Blair is cut on and missed. Kind of a bad swing, Paul. Looked as though he just couldn't make up his mind on it and was apparently fooled completely by catfish. Maybe the fastball, he expected it to be a breaking ball. Now the 1-strike pitch. Hunter delivers again. Here's a ground foul outside at first, and the count is 2 strikes to Paul Blair. Hunter's 2-strike pitch to Blair. The step, the pitch. High fly, right field, shallow. Right fielder coming on. First baseman back. Second baseman crossing over. Second baseman makes the grab in foul territory for the final out of the inning. No runs and no hits, no errors, and a man left at the end of 3 1/2 innings. It is Oakland 1, Baltimore nothing. In the Oakland half of the 4th inning, Doyle Alexander will work against Sal Bando, Reggie Jackson, and Gene Tennis in that order. And for those of you who were not here in the 3rd inning, the Oakland A's got a run. They opened the inning, Fosse hitting a ground ball to the right side of Oriole third baseman Brooks Robinson. As he moved over to make the play on the routine ground ball, he tripped and fell down. The ball hit him, bounced out of the mid, he couldn't make the play. And Fosse reached and was charged in error. Green sacrificed Fosse to second base. Campaneris popped to the second baseman for the second out. Rudy then singled to left to score Fosse with a run. And Rudy on the throw to the plate headed for second base. The throw hit the cutoff man, who in turn dealt it to second base, and Rudy was the 3rd out of the inning. Strike is called a hard breaking ball to Sal Bando as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Orioles have yet to get a base hit off Catfish Hunter. And the Oriole right-hander fires. Here's a drive, well hit, deep down the left field side. Bunbury back at the wall, at the fence. Bunbury leaps. He's got it in foul ground. Bunbury went up against the barrier in the deep left field corner and made a spectacular leaping catch. Now, this ball would not have carried over the wall. In truth, it was a foul ball. And Bunbury going racing into the corner, crossed the foul line, leaping into the air. And the 5'8" Al Bunbury once again has sent Bando back to the dugout, kind of talking to himself. An outstanding defensive play from Baltimore left fielder Al Bunbury. Here now is Reggie Jackson, 1 out and nobody on, and the Alexander pitch. Ground ball right side of second baseman Gritch, backhanded stab, recovers, throws, they get it. Gritch going hard to the right, backhanded stab of the ground ball. Rocked back and fired on target to the first baseman Williams for the 2nd out of the inning. 2 down now, and the batter will be Tennis. Gene was hit a glancing blow on a pitch that got away from Doyle Alexander in the 2nd inning. Tennis kind of just bent from the hips to get out of the way, and the ball just nicked him over the back of the, I think, the right shoulder. Not too certain. Just bent from the hips to get out of the way, and the ball just nicked him over the back of the, I think, the right shoulder. Not too certain. Tennis stops for a couple of pleasantries, a word or two with the plate umpire Bill Haller before stepping in. And here is Alexander ready to go with 2 out and nobody on. The right-hander throws, line drive, and it's a foul ball down the third base side. Strike 1. Well, over the intercom in the press box here at Oakland, we are again given the information that Ralph Houk was today named manager of the Detroit Tigers. Pitch. Foul ball, this one will make the seats, and the count is 2 strikes to Gene Tennis. The Oakland A's a run on 2 hits. The Orioles no runs and no hits. The absolute low spot for the Orioles yesterday had to be through the middle innings, 4, 5, and 6, as Vida Blue was shutting them out on 2 hits. And then what a complete about face. The 2-strike pitch to Tennis. Alexander throws just outside. A ball and 2 strikes. And it happened so quickly that the audience here at the Coliseum were, just kind of shocked and stunned. The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch. Alexander throws. Line drive. Base hit through the middle of center field. Tennis rocks a single into center. Hit number 3 for the Oakland A's. And I will bring out the left-hand batting Davalillo. With Tennis aboard in the second inning and nobody out and Davalillo at the plate, the Oakland manager Dick Williams had Tennis running. And Davalillo hit a ground ball back to the mound, and Doyle Alexander gambled and won. He snapped up the ground ball and wheeled a great throw to second base to execute the 4th on Tennis, and then Gritch's relay throw to first base doubled Davalillo. Well, there are 2 out now, and Tennis is at first base. And here is Dick Davalillo. He is 4 for 7 in this series. And he's been a tough out for the Orioles every time they've looked at him. Here's kind of a shot-put toss to first base from Doyle Alexander. No play. And for the first time today, we get bullpen activity. And it looks as though it's going to be Jim Palmer. The Oriole right-hander Palmer is beginning to warm in the Oriole bullpen. The set and the pitch. Outside and a ball. 1-0 now to Davalillo. Davalillo hit 188 in 38 games for Oakland on the year. Now the 1-0 pitch for the left-handed batter outside again, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Doyle Alexander right now has vacated the mound, out on the infield grass on the first base side of the mound. Took a little bit of a breather. Just did some hard thinking, relaxed as best he could, and now the 2-0 to Davalillo. Fly ball, well hit right field. Coggins back on the warning track, backing leap over his head and off the wall. Here is Tennis into third base. Tennis is coming home. He will score. The runner going to third, and he is in. Davalillo triples over the head of right fielder Coggins and off the wall to knock in Tennis with run number 2. The toughest of the Oakland A's by far for the Orioles have been the little guys, Bert Campaneris and Dick Davalillo. Davalillo has just tripled to knock in run number 2. A line shot straight into right field. Coggins, the right fielder, went racing back, desperately hoping for a play. Made the leap. The ball evaded the glove and hit the wall, and Coggins collided with a barrier. But it's perfectly all right. Tennis freewheeling around came on to score, and it's Oakland 2 and Baltimore 0. And Davalillo is coming into the dugout to talk to manager Dick Williams, and we'll see whether or not he's going to be replaced by a runner or whether he's just over there for a consultation. But Davalillo has come into the dugout, and now just as quickly Davalillo is going back out again. And we're wondering why that would be, but he just felt he could take time while pitching coach Bamberger talked to Doyle Alexander. Davalillo would take a little time to go into the dugout. So with 2 down, a single by Tennis, a triple by Davalillo, and the A's lead 2-0. And here now is Jesus Alou. In the second inning, Alexander got him on a tapper to the mound. Doyle ready to go, and the pitch to Alou. Line drive, base hit, left field. And here comes Davalillo home with run number 3. Well, Doyle Alexander got Bando to start the inning on a circus catch by his left fielder Bumbry. Then he got Jackson on the routine ground ball to second baseman Grit. And then the roof caved in. Tennis, a line single that almost took his head off into center field. Davalillo with a blazing line drive shot against the wall in right field to score Tennis. Alou with a first pitch line drive single into left field to score Davalillo. And manager Weaver has come to the mound, and that is going to be it for Doyle Alexander, where he got the first 2 men in the inning, and then the Oakland A's, who, believe me, are a good, tough-hitting ball club, just came after Alexander and hammered him with 3 scorching line drive base hits. So Alexander is out. And Doyle leads the ball game, and from the bullpen will come yesterday's starter, Jim Palmer. And while the new pitcher makes his way to the mound, let's pause for a moment. Well, from the Oriole bullpen comes Jim Palmer making a relief appearance. His second relief appearance of the year, and his second relief appearance in the last 4 years. July the 3rd, he relieved against the Milwaukee Brewers, which was his first relief appearance since 1969, and Palmer throws a strike call to the looking posse. Well, the Oakland A's with 2 runs on 3 hits, and I mean they were frozen ropes, are leading Baltimore 3-0 as Palmer deals the curve high on the count as 1 ball and 1 strike. At first base, Jesus Alou. The 1-1, the pitch coming as a ground ball hit to the shortstop, Belanger. He's got it to throw to second, and that's the fourth of Alou coming down the line for the final out of the inning. But the Oakland A's have a very productive inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, no Oriole errors, 1 man left. At the end of 4, the score is Oakland 3, Baltimore nothing. As the Orioles come to bat in the top of the 5th inning in Oakland, they are now in the same spot they were yesterday afternoon. Vida Blue was shutting them out on 2 hits through 6 innings, and they were able yesterday to catch up. Today, however, they are out against Jim Catfish Hunter, who through the first 4 innings has not allowed even a single base hit. And Hunter and the Oakland A's in this all-or-nothing-at-all game are leading Baltimore 3-0. 3 runs and 5 hits. The Orioles, no runs and no hits. And Brooks Robinson now for his second at-bat against Catfish Hunter. In the 2nd inning, on a 2-strike offering, Brooks slide to the right fielder. So the Oakland A's have built a very good cushion for one of the game's best competitive, Catfish Hunter. The pitch to Brooks. Ground ball, third base way. Bando charges. He's got it. The throw on to first. 1 ball. One up and 1 down. The batter now will be Bobby Grich. Grich, who homered in yesterday afternoon's game to give the Orioles a 5-4 victory and bring them into this crucial 5th game. A ball is outside to Grich. And the 1-0 pitch. A strike is called, and Hunter just pouring it on. Hunter, who won 21 games and lost 5 this year for the Oakland A's, and has defeated the Orioles 4 times without a defeat this year. A swing and a foul ball right at the plate. Last year, Hunter won a ball game and lost 2. And on the year, James Augustus, and on the career rather, James Augustus has now won 18 and lost 14 against Baltimore. A 21-game winner last year, a 21-game winner in 1971, an 18-game winner in 1970. The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch. Hunter throws. Grich gets a ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You can hear the umpires back in the seats groaning just a little bit. 2-2, the count to the batter, Grich. And so far, it has been all the Oakland A's and Catfish Hunter. The 2-2 offering on the way to Grich. High pop foul will find a seat behind the plate, so we'll ride along with the count. The Catfish throws. Struck him out. Swing and a miss. Grich goes down. The Catfish Hunter, that's his first strikeout. 2 down in the Oriole half of the 5th inning, and the batter now is Andy Etchebarren. Etchebarren in the 3rd inning against Hunter fouled out to the first baseman, Gene Tennant. Hunter throws a ball outside. Now the 1-0 pitch. And right back, swinging a line drive down the third base side, fair ball going into the deep left field corner. The first hit of the game for the Orioles around first base, going for two is Andy Etchebarren. A 2-out double into left field corner by the Oriole catcher Etchebarren, his 5th hit in 13 trips. So the Orioles finally break through with a base hit against Catfish Hunter. And the batter will be Mark Belanger. Belanger, a first ball hitter against Hunter in the third inning, skied to the right fielder, Reggie Jackson. Catfish taking just a moment or two because Irv Noren is indicating to the outfielder, center fielder Davalillo, they want him to move a little bit. They want him more toward the alley in right center field against the right-hand swings of Belanger. And what a hole in that outfield, out over the head of the shortstop, more toward left center than direct center field. The pitch coming to Belanger, a ground ball third base side. Bando is getting to it in foul ground, and the count is 1 strike. Reggie Jackson, the right fielder, is very shallow and within, maybe 15, 20 yards of the foul line of the right field corner. Davalillo, not quite so shallow, but way, way over in the alley in right center. And the left fielder, Rudy, is pretty well off the foul line down in left field, not too deep. So there's a gaping hole out over, right out over the head of Andy Etchebarren, the base runner, as he takes his lead at second base. Hunter's pitch to Belanger is a strike. 2 strikes to Mark. 2 out. Etchebarren at second. Oakland 3, Baltimore nothing. We're in the top of the 5th inning, game 5. This is the game for the American League. The pitch. Fouled away. 2 strikes continues. The 2-strike offering to Mark Belanger. Catfish checks Etchebarren and now throws. A ground ball third base way. Bando charges, plays on the half hop. Guns to throw to first in time. And Belanger is the final out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 4.5 innings in Game 5 in Oakland, the Oakland A's 3, the Baltimore Orioles nothing. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Bill O'Donnell joining you on the radio side of our broadcast coverage out of the Oakland Coliseum. In the A's 5th inning, and Oakland is leading in this game 3-0. The game, the final game, Dick Green, Bert Campaneris, and Joe Rudy against reliever Jim Palmer. Faced one man to come in for Alexander last inning and got him on a ground ball fourth play. Cut on the miss by Green on a hard Palmer curve. Green, then the top of the order, Campaneris and Rudy. Green just about to the front of the box, and the right-hand batter bunts towards third. Palmer with a bare hand pickup and a good throw. An alert play by a great athlete. Now, it's nothing new to see Palmer come off the mound to one side or the other, or charge in front of the mound to the grass towards the plate. He had a quick reaction on a bunt, which Green tried to drag by the mound, get it by Palmer, and also by Brooks Robinson. And Palmer got the bare hand pickup. As a matter of fact, he retired Green, so alert he was, by a good 3 steps. Campaneris hits the ground ball towards short. Belanger digs it out, hurries his throw, and it's in time. So 2 gone in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's Rudy. He's had some big hits in this game, not too many, but some key clutch wallets. It was Rudy's base hit off Alexander in the 3rd that scored Fosse, and that got the A's their first run. 3 of Rudy's 4 hits in this series have driven over Oakland tallies. Rudy, a right-hand batter. Cutting and fouling it right back, strike 1. For you late tuners in along the big Oriole radio network during this playoff series, it was a scoreless game through 2 innings.
And then in the bottom of the third, Oakland got a run, pecked away and got 2 more off Alexander and knocked him out last inning. Right-hander to right-hander, and the matchup is Palmer to Rudy with 2 outs. Ground ball towards the shortstop again. Belanger's right there with no trouble, and throws with no trouble for the final out. We've gone 5 rapidly played innings in the final game of the playoff series. Oakland 3, Baltimore nothing. Well, here we go into the top of the 6th inning. And it will be, speaking of the top, the head of the Oriole order. The 2 little guys in the speed merchants, Bunbury and Coggins, to be followed by Tommy Davis. Through 5 innings, the Catfish has been real tough. Did not give up a base hit in the game until a 2-out double last inning by Etchebarren. At one stretch in the game, Hunter retired 7 in a row. That was after he nicked Blair with a pitch to begin the 2nd. He then cut down in order Robinson, Gritch, Etchebarren, Belanger, Bunbury, Coggins, Davis, and then finally gave up a walk to Williams. He has given up 2 walks. The Williams pass in the 4th, plus a leadoff pass on 4 pitches to Bunbury to start the game. Also, it appeared to us, when we were broadcasting a little bit further down the third base foul line in the telecasting booth, it appeared to us that early in the game, Hunter was not firing hard. But in the last 2 innings or so, he has been throwing a bit harder. Once again, there's that third baseman Bando coming up and playing right in the throats of Oriole batters, this time against Bunbury. The windup by Hunter, and here we go in the top of the 6th. It's a strike call. Against Bunbury, who can hit to any field. Jackson is over to right. Rudy is over to left. Davalillo is straightaway center. High pop-up. Third baseman Bando between the bag and the mound. It is Bando's play, and there's out number 1. Yesterday, the Orioles did not score anything until the 7th inning. They were down at that point 4-0, tied it, won it in the 8th. They trail here in the 6th inning, 3-0. Coggins the batter. Rich is fly to center and bounced to the second baseman. We've had a little bit of an unusual postseason assignment for umpires. Normally the umpires rotate foul lines with 6 umpires use foul lines around the bases, but not in this series. It's low to Coggins and ball 1. In 5 games, we haven't had 5 different umpires back of the plate. 3 men have handled the plate, Haller, Shylock, and Maloney. The 1-0 delivery is a strike call to Rich. Nestor Shylock and Bill Haller have worked 2 games back of the plate. George Maloney worked the other game. Haller is back there today calling balls and strikes. On the 1-1, here's a check swing rolling foul outside the Orioles' first base dugout. It is ball 1 and strike 2 to Coggins with Davis next. Hunter winding, and the right-hander's next pitch. Fouled away, backing out of play. No play at all for Fosse. In his appearance in Baltimore, in Game 2, won by Oakland 6-3, Catfish Hunter did not go the route. He did go 7+ innings Sunday, gave up 3 runs and 7 hits in his 6-3 win. It'll be Hunter again, going to Coggins with 1 out with a 1-2 pitch. He's outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Although there are 2 strikes to Coggins, Bando plays inside third up to the grass. 2-2 are coming. Line drive by the first baseman and a fair ball. Around first base is Coggins. He is on his way to second. Jackson throws strong, but it's cut off by the second baseman Green. A rope double just inside the right field foul line. So both Oriole hits now have been 2 baggers, and if this is any sign, both these doubles have been shots that have been pulled. Etchebarren pulled a double into the left field corner as a right-hand batter. Coggins pulled a 2-bagger as a left-hand batter right down the right field foul line. He's at second with 1 out, and Tommy Davis steps in. Davis in this game has flied out twice, to Davalillo in center and to Jackson in right field. No activity in the Oakland bullpen. Coggins, who can fly, leading at second, has a good edge with one out. Davis pops it up. Third baseman Bando on the foul line, into foul territory. Without number 2 made by Bando, let's pause for station identification. This is the Orioles Baseball Network. Williams has been a base runner in this game, and that came on a 4th inning walk off a 3-2 pitch after he flicked the bat and fouled off a few 3-2 pitches. When he faced Hunter in the opening inning, he popped to the first baseman Tennis. Now the outfield goes around to deep left. Rudy way back and pulled over. Davalillo in center. Yanked way over and deep into left center. Well to right center and counted deep is Jackson. Campaneris right to the hole on the left side. Bando practically on top of the foul line and deep at third. On the first pitch, Williams fights a foul down the third base side behind the coach Hunter. 3-0 Oakland with a run in the third and a pair in the fourth. Williams flicking the bat back and forth, spreading the feet, and the look back by Hunter. His pitch is way outside. He threw a wide, low snapper. So Ray Fosse, instead of whipping the ball directly back to Hunter, decides to walk it out halfway and then have a very brief meeting. Blair is standing on deck. Williams is batting with Coggins at second base and 2 out. Second baseman Green yanked over to his throwing side, the right side, just to the first base side of second and deep. That's the man that Coggins has to look at as he leads from second. 1-1 pitch. It is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. With a 3-run lead, and not late in the ball game yet, not really late, Catfish Hunter might figure, well, I'd rather put Williams on and have him lose one and go after Blair, so I won't give him anything too fat. Maybe he'll bite. 2-1. High pop-up. It's back out of play and foul. Two strikes. In this ballpark, longer foul lines than back home in Baltimore. 330 feet down left and also down right. 2-2, Hunter to Williams. It's on the way. High foul again back to this part of the ballpark, directly behind. The Oakland starter still on the scene. The Orioles starter, Alexander, left in the 4th inning for Jim Palmer. Another 2-2 pitch from Hunter to Earl Williams with Coggins at second. Another foul comes straight back. Sal Bando marching over from third base, not directly towards Hunter. He's about a good 30 feet away, but just barking something at the Catfish. Now, most pitchers know what they're supposed to throw batters, but fellows like Bando, kind of the leader in the Oakland infield, will just remind them every once in a while to make sure that their concentration stays strong. Coggins off second, 2-2 to Williams, and here it is off the stretch. Ball 3. That was just off the outside corner. Williams looked like he was going to go after the pitch, chase the pitch, and then decided no. The same situation back in the 4th inning. Hunter was 3-2 with Williams, then walked him. Let's find out what happens here in the 6th inning, 3-2. Coggins leading, Hunter throwing. Ground ball towards the hole. Campaneris is there. Throws to first. There's the third out. Williams bouncing out short to first. No runs. A 1-out double by Coggins, and he's stranded at the end of 5.5 innings of play. Oakland 3, Baltimore 0. Well, it's the home half, the lower half of the 6th inning. for this Oakland ball club, and the A's are leading 3-0. Bando, Jackson, and Tennis, the batters against Jim Palmer. Bando has one of the 5 Oakland hits. That was a 2-out single in the first inning. He was robbed on a great catch by Bunbury in the 4th inning as Bunbury leaped across the foul line of the left field fence and made a catch. Ground ball, beaten wide of third. Brooks Robinson has it in the glove. Bando is out. Robinson to Williams on the first pitch from Palmer. Now it's Reggie Jackson. 0 for 2 in this game. 2 for 19 in the series. Coggin backing off real deep in right field. So is Blair in center. Low inside with a breaker and ball 1. 3-0 the A's. Batting in the 6th, and batting Jackson, who lines the shot to left field. On comes Bunbury. The ball gets by him. Grounding third, Jackson. Headed for second. Jackson will try for third and then slides and stops. He came around second base, went into a slide, and that's the way he broke his sprint. A line drive in front of Bunbury for a single. Then he misplays a base hit into an error, and Jackson goes to second. A single plus an error by left fielder Bunbury. Jackson at second. He just got the opposite field hit, and here's Tennis. He's been hit by a pitch, has singled, and scored one of the 3 A's runs. One on at second base with 1 out. Palmer looks back to the runner Jackson and delivers high, and it's ball 1 to Tennis. Bullet Bob Reynolds will begin to throw in the Oriole bullpen. He has splendid relief appearance yesterday here. And he'll be joined by Grant Jackson, who is even more splendid in relief. Palmer to the right-hand swinging Tennis with Jackson off second and 1 out. Ground ball towards short. Jackson stays at second. Belanger's got to hurry. He does hurry and gets his throw in time to Williams. Tennis beat a ground ball towards Belanger's throwing side. Here's Davalillo. He had a 3-bagger beyond the leaping glove of the right fielder Coggin in the 4th inning off the right field wall that drove in a run. And then later Davalillo scored on a Lou's base hit. Jackson still at second base. And are they going to walk Davalillo? That's what's going to happen. They will put Davalillo on intentionally. Here's ball 1, very wide. They will face Jay Lou instead. Here's ball 2 wide. And coming up, the 3rd wide one. You want to think about Lou. He has sent a routine ground ball to the mound, and he has singled to left, knocked in a run. Meanwhile, Davalillo being walked, and that last outside pitch almost got by Echebarren. First walk given up by Palmer. First walk given up by Oriole pitching. This one intentional. Here is Lou. A right-hand batter. What they call a free swinger. Anything near the plate, high or low, in or out, he goes after. To set the scene, the A's are batting in the 6th inning. They've got Jackson at second, plus Davalillo, who is just put on purposely at first. Lou taking time now, digging in just inside the rear stripe of the box. Now he's ready, and so is Palmer. Goes after him, stretches and works. Here's a high pop foul. First base side. Williams drifting under it. Near the box seat. Williams has it, and then leaps on top of the rolled up tarp in front of the box seat, but just leaped up casually. He had the play made on the foul pop-up. Lou is out. The side is retired. At the end of 6, Oakland 3, Baltimore nothing. Well, before the Orioles come up in the 7th inning, Oakland manager Dick Williams gets up his 2 insurance policies in the bullpen, left-hander Knowles and right-hander Fingers. Before play also starts in the top of the 7th inning, Bert Campaneris, the shortstop, had gone out without sunglasses. And just before Hunter was ready to work to Blair, Campy decided, well, I better take my own kind of insurance out with me, namely the sunglasses against this high sky and bright sun. All right, let's find out about Blair. He's been hit by a pitch. He's also been out stealing and has fouled out. Catfish Hunter has not given up a run, has only issued 2 hits. And he's got a strike at Blair's knees, and here we are in the top of the 7th inning. Catfish Hunter to Paul Blair. Deal strike 1. Foul down the first base side towards the Oriole dugout. No chance for Tennis nor for Fosse. It's back several rows in the seats. After Blair, Robinson and Gritch. The hits off Hunter. A pulled double to left field by the right-hand batting Etcheban. A 2-bagger by Coggins pulled to right. 0-2 to Blair. Breaking ball, loops foul down the right field side again to the seats, and just behind the Orioles' right field bullpen. You can be sure you're thinking about what might be on the mind of Oakland manager Dick Williams. If there is any sign or indication that Hunter is weakening, he will go to his bullpen. Another strike 2 pitch. Just off the corner. Blair was lunging, controlled the bat, and did not cut. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hunter has been firing hard, breaking stuff at Blair. On 1 and 2, here's a fly ball to deep left. Rudy is back at the wall, makes the catch. About 1 long stride in front of the wall in left field. Blair's a long out to left. Brooks Robinson sent a fly ball to right, which Jackson handled in the 2nd. Bounced to 3rd. Bando to Tennis in the 5th. All right, Brooks right now, and Gritch after Brooks. The windup by Hunter. He kicks and throws. He's got a strike with an inside corner fastball. Neither nose nor fingers slowing down at all. Both throwing hard, still in the Oakland pen. Fouled out of play. Strike 2 to Brooks Robinson. This was the inning yesterday in which the Orioles tied the game. Strike 2 are on the way from the Catfish to Brooks. Outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hunter wasting no time. He's got the wigwag to Fosse. Comes forward 1 and 2. Check swing on a low curve. Bill Haller shakes his head. And Williams comes leaping out of the Oakland dugout, asking Haller to check with Nestor Shylock, the first base umpire. Shylock says no, he did check the swing in time. My companion back of the plate, Haller, was right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The next deal by Hunter. Outside, ball 3. With 1 out and nobody on, here's the payoff pitch to Brooks. Fly ball, left center field, over is Davalillo. He dives, he can't get it. He plays it on the first hop, and Brooks Robinson stays at first base. Davalillo was cut just so slightly to right center. Dashed into center field, across the outfield, a bit towards left center. Made an attempt, and then played it on the first hop. Brooks Robinson, who had a key hit in the 4-run rally in the 7th inning yesterday, now has a base hit with 1 out here in the 7th. And Bobby Gritch is the batter. Hit number 3 off Hunter. Oakland 3, the Birds nothing, bottom of the 7th. Gritch today against the right-hander has fouled out and fanned. Robinson with a short lead held by Tennis, anchored at first base. It's a strike outside corner at the knees. Hunter's pattern against Grich in this game has been to throw him outside of Peniz and then come up into him. Let's see what he does on this pitch. He was outside of Peniz on the corner on the first delivery. His 0-1 is low inside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. He might have done a little string pulling with that breaking ball. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out. Bando tight to third, right up even with the bag. The stretch and Hunter to the plate. Inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Knowles is still up in the bullpen. He's the left-hander, but not throwing. He feels he's ready if needed. The right-hander's fingers now is throwing easily. 2-1 fire by Catfish Hunter. Grich is thrown low. It's ball 3. Echeverren is on deck. Belanger's back in the dugout. We're drifting now towards the lower end of the order. Robinson just had the 1-out single. Tennis no longer holds on 3-1. Here's a high drive towards right center field. Davalillo is waving off Jackson. The center fielder says, "I've got it," and he does. Out number 2. Echeverren steps up. Andy got the first wallop off Hunter in this game. A 2-out double ripped into the left field corner. That came in the 5th inning. Coggins got a hit last inning, a double. Brooks had one here in the 7th with 1 out. Bando has marched over from third, has stayed behind Hunter's shoulder quite a bit to the rear of the mound. Bando is walking away, and now Bando walks back. Dick Green started to make a move to the mound, and the second baseman starts to go back towards the right side of the infield. There is a slight breeze in this ballpark, but really of no consequence. Echeverren digging in and pounding the plate with the end of the bat. Hunter gives a look to Brooks at first base with 2 out, delivers. Fly ball, right field. Back goes Jackson. He is under it and waiting, and there's the 3rd out. The end of 6.5 innings. In the final game of the American League Playoff Series, Oakland 3, Baltimore 0. Coming up to the Oakland 7th inning, Jim Palmer, who relieved Doyle Alexander in the 4th inning, will be facing Fosse, Green, the 8-9 men in the order, and then Campaneris, the leadoff batter. Fosse was the batter when Palmer relieved Alexander in the 4th inning with 1 on and 2 out, and he made Fosse bounce into a 4th play. Fosse, the first trip in the 3rd, grounded towards Brooks Robinson, who lost his footing, got the glove on the ball, and misplayed it, and was charged with an error. Low and outside, ball 1 to Fosse. Fosse drove in 3 of Oakland's 4 runs yesterday. Next pitch by Palmer. High fly ball, right center. Blair from center, Coggins from right. Coggins is there and makes the catch. With 1 out in the Oakland 7th, Dick Green was coming up. Started for the batter's box and decided to go back towards the on-deck area where Campaneris is kneeling and wanted to rub up on the tar towel. Although Green does not have a base hit in this game, he has played a vital part in helping the A's get a run. Swings and fouls it right back, strike 1. After Fosse was safe on Brooks Robinson's error in the 3rd, Green laid down a fine sacrifice bunt, got Fosse to second, and from there Fosse scored on Rudy's base hit. Fly ball, right field. Coggins in and then breaks back casually for the putout. Green is a quick out, so both Fosse and Green have skied to the opposite field. Campaneris, no trouble today, but a lot of trouble in the series. Today, Campaneris has fanned, popped up, and bounced out. However, he has 6 hits in the series, 2 of which have been homers. Palmer to Campaneris, way high, and ball 1. Palmer kicks and works. Foul back of the plate. Working again in the Oriole bullpen. Left-hander Grant Jackson with right-hander Bob Reynolds. The Oakland pen, which was busy in the top of this inning, everything's silent out there at the moment. But I would think when the top of the 8th inning rolls around, they'll get fingers and nose up again. 1-1 to Campaneris. Swings and doesn't get it. He's down. A ball and 2 strikes on a good-looking sharp curve. Rudy waiting off stage, and Palmer attacks Campaneris. Change curve. Bounce to third by Brooks Robinson. And rolling down the left field foul line. Campaneris heads to second. Bunbury throws late. Campaneris has a 2-bagger. A 1-2 pitch inside, and it looked down. And Campaneris pulled it, yanked it on the ground, right by Brooks Robinson at the bag. The 7th hit in this series for Campaneris. That is the second base hit off Palmer in relief. Hit number 7 by the A's in this game. Rudy the batter, 1 for 3, and that hit was a big one. He knocked in the A's first tally in the 3rd inning. Relief. Hit number 7 by the A's in this game. Rudy the batter, 1 for 3, and that hit was a big one. He knocked in the A's first tally in the 3rd inning. Palmer with a look back to Campaneris. 2 are out as he deals the plate. A foul towards the Oriole dugout will reach the seats. Rudy has stepped out to try to break Palmer out of his groove. Campaneris just whipped a 2-bagger down the 3rd baseline. He's off second. Next delivery, way outside. Andy had a drop to that right knee. 1 ball, 1 strike. Three runs, 7 base hits for the A's. They lead in the game by a score of 3-0. Rudy again stepped out, slowed down Palmer. Now Palmer stretching up, looking back. Throws. Campaneris is running. Here's a fly ball towards right center, over Slayer, and he makes the catch. On the pitch to Rudy, Campaneris was tearing to 3rd base. Rudy is out, and the side is gone. At the end of 7, Oakland 3, Baltimore nothing. In the top of the 8th inning, as now we're marching down to the finish line. Mark Belanger was due to start, but Belanger will not bat. Terry Crowley will be the batter instead. Crowley has appeared before in this series as a pinch hitter. He batted in the Sunday game back in Baltimore, game 2 of the series, and in that 1 plate appearance slide to left field. In the Oriole 8th, Crowley starts it against Belanger, and then Bunbury and Coggins, 2 more left-hand batters following Crowley. Well, before we start the 8th inning, it's also station break time. So we will pause for station identification on the Orioles Baseball Network. Catfish Hunter has just concluded warming up with his catcher, Fosse. The Orioles did not have a base hit through 4 innings. They did get 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. In those innings, Etchebarren and Coggins were stranded. Brooks Robinson had 1 last inning. He was stranded. Crowley with the league in the regular season batted .208. All right, let's go now to the 8th inning as Hunter deals a pinch hitter Crowley a strike. He kept it outside on the corner. Left-hander Darrell Knowles and right-hander Raleigh Fingers again are up, throwing easily in the Oakland bullpen. Strike 1 to the pinch hitter, Crowley. Line drive on 1 hop at the second baseman. Green throws to third. Crowley is out. Terry batting for Belanger on a 1-hopper at second baseman Green. Al Al Bunbury hitless today and hitless in the series after a great campaign. He walked in his first time at bat, stole second. He has since flied to left and popped up. Bando marching in, well inside third, couple of steps up to the grass. Al Bunbury with one out. He is thrown high and ball one. The A's have a 3-run lead, and Catfish Hunter is working on a 3-hit shutout. He's got a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. One-oneer comes to Bunbury. Strike, outside corner. Hunter, who is a great nibbler, is doing exactly that to Bunbury, just trying to spike the corners. 1-2 delivery. Ground ball towards short. Campaneris has it back of the grass, throws to first. It's in time. 2 out in the top of the 8th inning. Coggins for his 4th turn. He has fly to center, bounced to second, and double to right. Coggins trying desperately to get aboard and start stirring something up. Fouls it right back under the boot, and that makes it strike 1. Davis after Coggins. 2 out, top of the 8th inning. Hunter with a 3-0 lead, and with a strike 1 pitch to Coggins, who loops a fly ball to right. Jackson charging in and cannot make the play. Coggins has his 2nd hit. A looping double with 2 out. And that'll bring up Davis. Of course, what the Orioles would like to get is not just a run. They'd like to get 1 swing of the bat and get a pair. Davis hitless in this game. He is 6 for 20 in the series. He has sent fly balls to the outfield and also fouled to third baseman Bando. Coggins leading. Doesn't go far with Tennis holding and Hunter looking. The delivery to Davis. Foul ball towards the Oriole dugout. Ray Fosse getting over and no play in the seat. The 2 relief pitchers in the Oakland pen, namely Knowles and Fingers, have been throwing, and now they're just standing around. They feel ready. Tennis anchored at first. That's where Coggins leads the way with 2 out. Hunter's quick look. And his pitch to Davis. Ground ball, wide of third. Bando stabs it, throws to first. There's out for the 3. The Orioles have 1 more chance. They are out in the 8th. No runs, a hit, a man left. At the end of 7 1/2, Oakland 3, Baltimore 0. Well, Oakland people, I'm sure, thinking that this might be the A's last turn at bat. Bando, Jackson, and Tennis in the bottom of the 8th. Bando 1 for 3 in this game. 3 hits in the series, including 2 home runs. Palmer's been on and released since the 4th, and now drills in his pitch low to Bando, and it's ball 1. A's have 7 hits with their 3 runs. 2 of those blows off Palmer. Bando taking low, ball 2, 2-0. Palmer's windup, kicks and fires. Ground ball, third base way, and foul. Palmer's next pitch, low and ball 3. Pitch. Ground ball, third base. Brooks with a short hop pickup. And Bando is out corner to corner. Robinson to Williams. Well, obviously, 3,000 miles away from the East Coast. Not too many Baltimore Orioles fans out here, but two from Ellicott City. I'm sure cheering right now for Palmer to get rid of Jackson. They are Earl and Rosemary Peart, and would like to be remembered their friends and neighbors back in Ellicott City. Earl and Rosemary Peart. Reggie Jackson, 1 for 3 today. The changeup has Palmer strike. Jackson 1 for 3, as we said today. 3 for 20 in the series. 0-1. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right-hander Palmer, the left hand batting. Long ball threat Jackson. With Reggie Jackson at the plate, the Orioles' Grant Jackson is warming in the Baltimore bullpen. Low inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Grant Jackson has to one side. Right-hander Bob Reynolds out there. Palmer in, 2-1. He's inside with a fastball. 3 balls and 1 strike. To make a good pitch, 3-1. Check swing, foul. Loops out towards the left field seat. Jackson has cleared the batter's box, slowing down Palmer. Now he's ready, and here's Jim, 3-2. High foul ball down the third base side. Brooks Robinson with the glove up to shade his eyes from the sun. He puts it in that glove. Jackson fouls out to third. Now Gene Tennis. In the Oriole ninth inning, the batters Williams, Blair, and Robinson, all 3 of whom bat right-handed. 2 out on the pitch to Tennis. He fouls it between the legs of the plate umpire, Bill Haller. Baltimore won the first game. Oakland won game 2. The A's won game 3. And then Baltimore tied it up yesterday, won game 4. Palmer's breaking pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 to the right hand swinging. Tennis. He fans and doesn't get a big curve. 1-2. The Oriole victories by scores of 6-0 and 5-4. The Oakland wins by scores of 6-3 and 2-1. They lead now 3-0. Palmer sends in his 1-2. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Palmer's next delivery. In the dirt. Full count to Gene Tennis with Davalillo standing off stage.
Here's today's attendance. Today's attendance. 24,265. Receiving 2-4.
Next pitch, 3-2 pitches. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Palmer put a 3-2 fastball and chewed the inside corner to retire Bando, Jackson, and Tennis in order. The 9th inning coming up. The score, Oakland 3, Baltimore 0. Coming to the 9th inning, Catfish Hunter has been very, very sharp. Given up only 4 hits and no more than 1 hit in any inning. He leads with his Oakland ball club 3-0. And manager Earl Weaver will send up to begin the top of the 9th inning. Earl Williams. Paul Blair is due behind him. And Brooks Robinson is also due. As has been the case the last 3 innings, left-hander Darrell Knowles with right-hander Ollie Fingers, the southpaw and the right-handed aces of the Oakland 10 are getting loose in case manager Dick Williams summons one or both. Check on Earl Williams today. He has popped to first, he has walked, and grounded to short. Today's attendance for the fifth and concluding game of the American League Series in Oakland, just over 24,000. Now to the ninth inning, and Hunter's first pitch to Williams. Ground ball, wide of third. Campaneris has it in the hole. Long throw. It's in time. Williams dove to the bag. Tennis came off the bag and then came back on top of it. And Earl Williams dove right to the bag. He dove a good 4 feet to the bag. Tennis came off the bag and then stepped back on it. Williams hit a ground ball too far to the glove side of Bando. Campaneris deep to the hole, dug it out, pulled Tennis off the bag. And when Tennis's foot came off, Williams went to a head-first dive. The big fellow hit the bag just after Tennis reached back the foot. 1 out. The batter is Blair. Low and ball 1. 1 out. 9th inning. Hunter's 1-0 delivery. Popped up. It's foul. Fosse coming back. He can't reach it. A ball and a strike. Etchebarren, Coggins, Robinson, and also Coggins for his second hit. The only base knocks off Hunter in this game. 1 out. Bases empty in the ninth. The next delivery to Blair. Low. Ball 2. 2-1. Oakland got a run in the third. Their last 2 in the fourth. 2-1 from Hunter to Blair. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Fosse sets the mitt to give Hunter a target for the 3-1 pitch to Blair. It is strike 2. Blair was on the take. He made Hunter get the strike. Full count, 3-2. Hunter reaching in the glove. His payoff pitch. Ground ball towards third in front of the bag. Bando throws. There's out number 2. Bando retires Blair. Bando to Tennis on the grounder, and here's Brooks Robinson. Robinson has slide to right, rolled to third, single to center. Catfish taking a little stroll for himself to the back part of the mound. Now slowly walking back on top. With 2 outs, the base is empty. Robinson fouls it back of the plate and strike 1. Next pitch, it's in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hunter has his side, kicks and throws. Fly ball, right center field. Reggie Jackson is over, and it's beyond him. It's to the warning track in right center. Brooks Robinson will come in standing with a 2-out, 2-bagger. Brooks collects his second hit today. Hit number 5 off Hunter. Bobby Grich becomes the batter. Third baseman Bando, as he's done so often, not just in this game, but frequently during every game, has come over to talk with Catfish Hunter. Time has been called. A ball came out of the Oakland bullpen and rolled down the left field foul line into the corner. A couple of fans are also hanging over the wall in right field. So the left field line umpire, Merle Anthony, walked down the line and told the fans to get back. Now the plate umpire, Bill Haller, and the first base umpire, Nestor Shylock, coming over to tell Dick Williams that they'd better not let this continue because it could be a forfeiture of a game. So the fans are being asked to get off the fences. Some of those who are over the fences down the left field side have backed off. There are some people sitting on top of the center field fence right now, and also the fence in right center. Dick Williams, the manager, is walking down the left field foul line, telling the foul line umpire to help him out if he can. Williams also motioned to the fans on top of the center field fence to also get off and let the game continue. Gritch hitless in this game after having a game-winning homer yesterday to break what was a 4-4 tie and what became a 5-4 win. Robinson at second base, and 2 out. Catfish Hunter, short stretch, and delivers Gritch. Inside, almost hit Bobby on the knees. Knowles, the left-hander, fingers the right-hander, throwing very hard in the Oakland bullpen. Time suddenly called by Bill Haller because something has come out of the seats in left center. Additionally, a door in the fence in center field has been opened up. It has been opened up, as a matter of fact, pulled away. And some fans began to crawl through that opening in the center field fence. Three members of the Oakland Coliseum ground crew are also going on the warning track to pick up quite a bit of confetti. So we will have a delay in the game. What the ground crew is also doing is locking another opening in the fence in left field to make sure somebody doesn't yank that open and walk on the field. Now it looks like boxes, some wooden boxes have been tossed out of the stands in the right field seat, back on the warning track behind Reggie Jackson. Jackson just running after them and throwing them back over the opposite side of the wall. All right, let's see if we can continue with a ball one pitch to Bobby Gritch. Hunter looks back to Robinson with 2 outs. In he comes. Inside, almost hit Gritch on the arm this time. And this will spring Dick Williams from the open dugout. Hunter has been trying, obviously, to jam Gritch. In so doing, just missed, hitting him on the knees with the first one, and then missed again, hitting him in the arm with the second delivery. Dick Williams saying at the mound only a couple of moments, talking with Bando, with Fosse, and also with Catfish Hunter. Now the 2-0. It's a strike ball. To take that pitch because he'd be satisfied to get on with a walk and bring up the tie run. So he took the 2-0 pitch for the called strike. Hunter's next deal. Bounce, short third, foul, right at third base coach Hunter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Comes forward, 2-2. Ground ball towards short. Campaneris picks it out, throws to first. The game is over. Oakland has won the 1973 American League Championship. Final score: Oakland 3, Baltimore 0. We'll be back to recap it right after this message. Yes, the Oakland A's just won the American League Championship for the second straight year, and will now go on to take on the New York Mets in the World Series. And that series will start here on Saturday afternoon. just as much. The Oakland A's got a magnificent pitching performance on the shutout job accomplished by Catfish Hunter. Final score, and here are the totals. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the A's. No runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Orioles. Hunter goes the route. He won 2 of the 3 games for the A's. Alexander is the loser. Alexander did not get by the 4th inning when Jim Palmer relieved, and Palmer finished up the game. We'll be back with more highlights right after this message. This game was scoreless until the 3rd inning. The door opened in part for the A's when Ray Fosse, the leadoff man, bounced a shot towards third. Brooks Robinson, trying to get over the ground ball, lost his footing, did get his glove on the ball and could not handle it, and Robinson was charged with an error. Then after Fosse advanced to second on the green sacrifice, Rudy singled to left field, and that got the A's their first run. They got 2 more in the 4th. In the process, knocked out Alexander, and the 2 runs came after 2 were out. On a single by Tennis, a 3-bagger by Davalillo that made it 2-0 with Tennis crossing the plate. Davalillo's 3-bagger followed by Jay Alou's base hit to left. That plated Davalillo, and those were all the runs. Alou's base hit had Alexander leave and Jim Palmer come from the bullpen. Palmer, through the rest of the game in relief, only gave up 2 hits. Jackson's base hit in the 6th, and a Campaneris double pulled to left in the 7th inning. The Orioles didn't have too many threats. They had Etchebarren reach second base on a double in the 5th inning for the first hit off Catfish Hunter. They had Coggins get to second on a 1-out double in the 6th. Brooks Robinson singled with 1 out in the 7th. Coggins singled with 2 out in the 8th. Robinson doubled his second hit of the game. It came in the last inning, and he was stranded when Grich bounced to Campaneris for the last out. Final score in the final game and the final broadcast of our 1973 season: Oakland 3 and Baltimore nothing. Of course, on behalf of Chuck Thompson, on behalf of our producer-engineer on our road games, Ken Kimball, and our producer-engineer, Scoop Reader, back home for our home broadcast from Memorial Stadium, there are so many people to thank, but to those of you who know you play a part in these broadcasts and somewhat behind the scenes, without mentioning all your names, what is most important is that we thank you personally. You know who you are, and we are very grateful for all the things that you make possible to make these Oriole broadcasts go along the flagship station of our network, WBAL, and to all of you along the network station.